So as I was saying, the only thing that really matters is the words that go in here, because everyone gets access to the same exact thing. So if you can come up with an insanely unique offer, that is what I would put all my time and my energy into, is crafting a great offer with your client. Because if you can come up with something that's unique, this will do all the heavy lifting. You don't need an amazing ad. You don't need to be great at running ads, because this is going to do all the heavy lifting. So, anyhow, if you're going to focus on one thing and get one thing from this, just have a great offer and everything else will fall into place. All right. So, only give this offer to 10 people. Click learn more if you want to claim this now. Perfect. I usually just keep it super simple like this. Maybe add a couple emojis or things like that, right? Um, something like this, right? And then keep it super simple. And then, headline. You can see here, it's all coming together. So this is what it actually looks like. So you can see in less than a few minutes, I've created, a really nice looking ad. I like either get offer, get quote, or learn more as my call to action. And one thing I will say is you just want to have this call to action match, when you're telling them to click to claim this offer. All right. So that's as simple as it gets, guys. Like, we're really not running anything too crazy. And like I said, you guys can check out the last video where, I brought my media buyer on and he, goes into some of these things. But that's as simple as it gets, guys. And I think a lot of the time people try to overcomplicate ads. And when you overcomplicate ads, it makes it way harder to actually run ads successfully. So if you keep things simple and you find something that works, then just do more of what works, right? If you find an offer that's really crushing it, then do more similar offers like that. If you find something completely flops, well, then don't do it. If you find emojis work great, then use the emojis. If you find for your specific, niche that you work with that emojis don't work great, then don't use emojis. So just test and figure out what works and test little things. Test one thing at a time. All right. So that's pretty much it. I don't really add much in the description. Doesn't really make a big difference for us. Okay. And then other than that, you can create a new form. So, keep the form really easy. So I'm just going to make sure. Example form. Okay. I go higher intent. That's interesting. This is new. So you see what I mean, guys? I'm in here all the time, and like they're adding something new every time I'm in here. So I do higher intent. At the beginning, you might want to do more volume just to get as many leads as possible. But the only thing with higher intent is that there's a review screen where they just have to review their info and then click slide to submit. And if they do that, the theory behind it is that you're just going to get more high quality leads, right? People who have, gone through a little bit more friction, a couple more hoops. And because of that, they're going to be a little bit more higher intent, So yeah, I typically do that. I just use the image from the ad, keep things super consistent. The headline, this is important, guys. You want to sell, the offer. So your roof replaced for less than 99 per month. Claim the offer. Right? Something super simple. You don't even need to say that. You can just have the offer there. right? And then you can just say, been around. So like for this particular roofing company, top roofer for 25 years, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So just add a few points about the business that's amazing. 5 million in liability insurance, and this is why it's important to niche down, guys, because I know roofers inside and out and what they can offer and things like that. Okay, so now we just want to add a couple questions. So you're going to get email, full name. You definitely want to get phone number as well. And then you can just add a couple qualifying questions, right? Add a couple short answer questions, nothing too crazy. Like, when are you looking to get your roof replaced? And I might add one more. When was the last time you got your roof done? Right? Something like that. And you don't really need more than that. Okay. So you can see if they just answer these couple questions, it gives me some good insights. And again, I just want volume. I just care that my roofers have as many leads they can call and text and basically reach out to as possible. All right. Then you want to add, a privacy policy. Okay. So you can just add in a privacy policy. Your client should have one, right? So www.privacypolicy.com. Right, just add in whatever privacy policy your client provides you, and they definitely will have one. And if they don't, get them to give you one. Super easy to get, and yeah, they can get one very quickly. Okay, you can add some things if you want. So, for example, if you wanted to add some disclaimers or terms and conditions that your client is requesting, you can, but typically we don't. Then you're going to have the review screen, which is they're going to slide to submit. And then from here, you can have like a testimonial page, right? So www.roofer.com/testimonials or things like that, right? You are previous, or we actually, this is what we typically do. Someone will reach out within 5 to 10 minutes. Please for a phone call. So there's a couple things here. You can change right to like their testimonial page or their website or something like that. Or what we do is we just have a call business, right? And then they can basically just call right away. So you can add in the number and say, call now to claim the offer, right? And then that way, if they want to, they can just directly call and then just put your client's number right in here. And then you just want to click create form, right? Super easy. I'm not going to create it right now because I have a ton of forms and don't want to mess up with this ad account. All right, so that's pretty much it. And then when it goes to launching this, once you have that form created, you just click publish and the ads will go live, right? Super freaking easy, guys. Like I said, I keep things as simple as possible. Okay, so I'm not going to launch this, guys, for the sake of this ad account. This is a test ad account. So the next thing is testing different ads. So one thing you want to do is test a couple things, right? So to test an ad, what you can do is just click duplicate and just click duplicate again. And then you can put roofing ad number 2 and go in here and change one piece of this. Okay, so maybe you change it to a different offer, right? And you try a different offer. Maybe you try a different image or you try video instead. Or maybe you try a different headline, right? But pick one thing and change that. All right, so for example, if I wanted to change the offer to like, we're doing something easy where if you get your roof replaced, I'll buy you tickets to the next football game, right? And then, you just want to match the headline with the offer. Roof replace plus free NFL tickets. Right, something that just matches the offer, and then that's it. That's my ad number 2. Everything else I want to leave the same, right? Because then I'll let Facebook run the ads, and it'll tell me which is actually doing better. Okay. And what Facebook is going to do is I have a budget of $33 a day here. Well, it'll split the budget between these two different ads and say, okay, well, which one's doing better? And it'll spend more on the ads that are actually doing better. That's why people are really successful at Facebook, because Facebook has an amazing algorithm. All right. The other thing you can do is test multiple. So once you have your ads, right, you can test multiple different targeting. So duplicate and same thing, duplicate. So if I wanted to test something else, so we'll leave this for now, the ad set name, but maybe I want to test same, just leave the age, and I want to test some detailed targeting. So people who like Home Depot, right? That's something we do, because if they're going to Home Depot, or if they like Home Depot, it probably means they're looking to do some, kind of repairs or things like that. You can see 1.7 to 2 million. That's a big audience, right? Who else do I want? Maybe people, who are, let's look here. We can look at different suggestions. Financial, income. Okay, so maybe they're the top 10 and 20%, 10 to 25% zip codes, right? It's 2.5 to 3 million. Okay, it means that they have money to spend. And maybe I'll just do that. Okay, so then I'm going to go up here and I'll create household income 10 to 25% plus Home Depot. Okay, and then you want to click publish. And then from there, okay, so there's an error here. So sometimes they'll give you random errors and you just got to figure out why. So I assume it's this. Yeah. Okay. So so certain things like that, for example, sometimes you just can't target it with certain things. And why, I'm not sure. So I usually use interest targeting anyhow. And you can just test random ones. So for example, families, right? So I'm thinking, who's my ideal client? Probably going to be someone who's a homeowner. And typically people with families are homeowners. So I might go parenting. All right. Because if they are, parenting, then they definitely have a family. And if they have a family, they most likely have a home. Okay. This is just an example. There's a million things you can target. And then you can, go down here and just choose some of these things, like do it yourself, and you can test a few and layer them on if you want, as long as you're just testing, right? So that's the next thing, right? You click publish and that should be all good. And then you're going to have a couple different things. So you'll see at some point, one will do better than the other. So sometimes open targeting gets me cheaper leads or better quality leads for the client, and then I'll just run with that, right? And I'll turn this one off. If this one's doing really good and it's getting better leads than this, then vice versa, I'll turn this one off and keep that one on. And then that's how you kind of manage between the different campaigns, ad sets, and ads. So that's all I wanted to cover in this particular training, guys. I know it's, between these two videos is a little bit longer, but I wanted to make sure that you guys understand this. And of course, you can always hop on the calls and ask questions about these things, and ask, the group chat for support and things like that. But yeah, guys, running ads is not that hard. It's super easy. And if you took one thing away from this session. Just make sure to have a really good offer, and that'll do most of the heavy lifting for you guys. The rest of it is just pressing some buttons and getting it launched. So hopefully you enjoyed, guys, and I will see you guys in the next training. Take care, guys.